Killing yourself for Africa, killing yourself for snow bunnies. It might be the end of the road for one Nico Jackson. Nico. So, what we're saying here, man. Nicolas Jackson has chances to leave Chelsea this summer. After Noni Madueke to Arsenal, he could be the next one to try a new chapter elsewhere. Milan asked for Jackson, but Chelsea's asking price is still too high. Hey, don't put that too high. They don't have much money in Italy. Premier League clubs are also keen and informed. It's looking like it's the end of the road. It's looking like it's the end of the road. And I think, for Nico Jackson, the reality of the matter is he needs to realize that the situation doesn't benefit him. And we'll get into the situation that the situation does not benefit him. And you see, when you're playing this ball, especially in something that is so competitive, that's of high level, but especially for Chelsea, you've got to make sure that you've got a great argument. You've got to make sure that you've got a strong argument. You're like a lawyer going in and says, I have a very strong case to either defend my clients or a very strong case to prosecute the said person on trial. So, and for me, I just felt like Nico Jackson did not make a strong enough case. He simply hasn't. Hence why Chelsea, if Nico Jackson was that dude, Chelsea wouldn't go out to get Delap and Jao Pedro. It's one thing getting one striker, but yet another striker. That's a clear indication of, not happy with Nico Jackson. And I've been very, very consistent. I said that if Chelsea are serious of trying to win the league and the UCL, Nico Jackson can't be your first choice. He can be a squad player. I've always said Nico Jackson can be a very useful squad player, but as a starter and as your prime goal scorer and frontman, he can't be that. If you're serious. Oh, and Chelsea are very serious. So here's the difficulty of Nico Jackson's issues. I'm going to just run through them right now. Everyone gets red cards. We get it. Everyone gets red cards. When we're trying to get top four and top four is at stake, and you just know how important top four is, you can't get a red card against Newcastle. You simply can't. Luckily, Chelsea's the man to say what's up, but imagine if that had truly jeopardized Chelsea's season. So, and again, but the red card at the Club World Cup, stupid. Absolutely stupid. And what if that had affected Chelsea in that very, very important final game of that group stage of not having Nico Jackson there? So that ill discipline doesn't help your case. And those two red cards is something that will be in Maresca's head. Because we all know Maresca's reaction to the red card against Newcastle, and we all know everyone's reaction to it. And you know it's bad where the manager doesn't defend you. And you can't even defend yourself. So when the manager doesn't even come to defend you because he knows that, you were stupid and you deserve the red card, that's when you know it's bad. That's when you know it's bad. So that's Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Don't piss off the superstar. This is just dressing room, the decorum, football, the decorum. If you're a New England Patriots, don't piss off Tom Brady. If you're a Kansas City Chief, don't piss off Patrick Mahomes. If you're a member of the City Thunder, don't piss off Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Don't piss off SSGA. If you were back in the day of the Bulls team, don't piss off Michael Jordan. Because the superstar holds sway. The superstar holds sway. Like Nico Jackson not scoring the ball to Palmer. Again, that's a bad character trait. And if I'm a manager and you know how important that game is because you know that this is like a semi-final and there's a final at stake there, and you do that crap, it's like, bro, you could have jeopardized that because you only thought about, because that's what's thing. Never put yourself ahead of the team. Strikers should be selfish, yes. Strikers should be greedy, yes. In particular situations, when there is a much better option of passing the ball over taking a shot that is much more ill-advised and it's a tougher angle, that's not being greedy the right way. That's just being stupid. And that's just a bad footballing play. It's things that don't help you. Exhibit C. Way back when. Remember the whole penalty incident? And this was with Palmer again. To argue in public view is insane. You know who the designated penalty taker is. Even if you don't know who it is, if someone has grabbed the ball and taken the ball, it is what it is. Do you know how embarrassing it is to be arguing with your teammates over a penalty? Over a penalty. Do you know how shameful that is, how embarrassing that is, and how disgraceful that is? It's awful. That's Exhibit C. Now, Exhibit D is a bit weird, man. And people say, okay, this Exhibit D, it should really count. I mean, come on, let a man live, let a man live. Speaking of living, Dr. Umar lives. Umar lives. Now, this has nothing to do with football. This is not a footballing thing. But it just adds to the case of, if Nico Jackson was to be sold, would I care? Because this, plus the red cards, plus the ill discipline, poor character, bad footballing decisions, haven't really done well as a striker or as a finisher, and you get caught in 8K being a snow bunny hopper as a professional football player. It just doesn't bode well. If it's hard to defend you. It's hard to defend you. It's hard to be like, I want Nico Jackson to stay because, and it's hard to bring in reasons to, I want Nico Jackson to stay because, and if Nico Jackson is to be sold, oh, I don't want him to be sold because there remain unwanted reasons why I'd be happy if he was sold. Chelsea won't be losing out. But we go back to football, and this is where it just gets even realer right now. We don't know whether Jao Pedro is going to be that dude. We don't know that he's going to be amazing. We don't know that there's everything. Jao Pedro is a striker. And he knows how to strike the ball. Nico Jackson is a striker who does not know how to strike the ball. These are the simple facts of life. And those 2 goals by Jao Pedro were horrible for Nico Jackson. It was horrible. One game is only one game, and one game is a very small sample size. But when a guy who you know is a striker, who you know is talented, who we know how good he's been at Brighton, does that in a very high-stakes game, hey, we're going to sell Nico Jackson. Okay, we have Jao Pedro. It's not, oh, we're going to sell Nico Jackson. Okay, what do we do? Who's our striker? Okay, Nico Jackson is gone. Yeah, did you just see the 2 goals he just scored? Am I? So the way that Pedro is going, because it's not only the goals, it's how he's playing. He works well with the team. I think as a footballer, he's better than Nico Jackson. And now he might just be a much better striker than Nico Jackson. Because remember, he didn't have the kind of quality at Brighton that he will now have at Chelsea. This looks like an upgrade. It looks like an upgrade. It's been a bit much more tricky for Delap. It's been a bit more tricky for Delap. But he's a striker. And I keep having to remind the kids at the back, Nico Jackson is not a striker. Nico Jackson was never a striker. Shh, don't tell anyone. Nico Jackson was never a striker. He never was. So what you now have are 2 actual strikers who simply are ahead of the queue over your boy Nico. So Mr. Killing Yourself for Africa. Again, it's hard to fight for his case. The only defense is cover, squad. Oh, he can play on the wing. Oh, he can maybe play it too. And it's just good to have an extra body. But if you're Nico Jackson, I think Nico Jackson wants to be a starter. Because that's the thing. Nico Jackson needs to realize this. You're not going to be a guaranteed starter. If you're happy with that, hey, we'll be happy to have you. But if you want to be a guaranteed starter, you have to leave. Based on Chelsea's personnel and the players that Chelsea have, you're not a guaranteed starter here. You simply aren't. And you've not done enough to warrant a place to be a guaranteed starter. You simply haven't. This is the reality. This is what this is just what you have to accept. So, and again, for me, I'm keeping it real, guys. Nico Jackson gets sold. I'm not losing any sleep. I'm not losing any sleep. I'm glad with what he's done and what he has contributed. And I said this many times, and people disagreed with me. I said, Chelsea can do better. Guys were trying to say, who is his XG? Look at how well he's doing with his XG. Look how many goals he has scored. Look at what he's... I'm like, that's all good. Chelsea can do better. This is not the best that Chelsea can do. And as we've seen with Jao Pedro, Chelsea can do better. Chelsea can do even better than Jao Pedro. Of course that they can. But Jao Pedro is an upgrade. The fact is that Chelsea could always do better than Nico Jackson. And if Chelsea were serious about winning the league, serious about winning the UCL, serious about winning the treble, they have to do better than Nico Jackson. And Nico Jackson cannot be a starter. He can be a squad player. Nico Jackson can be a very useful squad player. He cannot be a starter. So Nico, what is it? If you want to be a squad player, we'll be happy to have you. Come along with the freaking bandwagon. But if you want to be a starter, no can do. No, sorry. Can't do that. I cannot make that deal. So the choice, my friend Nico, is yours. If you're happy to be a squad player, stay. If you want to be a starter, start learning Arabic, Chinese, or Kryptonian. Think about becoming a Football Hut member. If you're a desktop merchant, just click on the join button below, over here. Or if you're a mobile phone merchant, just click on the join button below the video over here and join the true elite content crack addicts. Peace.